Hello once again, everybody. This is Rich with High Percent Trading. This short video is a follow-up showing the pit open session trading in crude oil and the Russell index all this week here, this past week, which was the 9th of November through the 15th. We're going to show all 10 of those trading days. And this will show you again the methodology and the types of trades that have been taken in the pit sessions open in the markets that we follow here in the room, in the live markets analysis room for high percent trading. And as I've indicated in the attached email that you may have received, these pit session opens using this method of trading has been profitable every pit session the last 30 consecutive days in these markets. Now I'm going to show how these are taken. These are fully automatic as far as the way that they're filtered, the way that they're set up, and the way that they're signaled. And of course, you can even automatically take these trades and manage them automatically if you choose. But let's start with crude oil. We're starting with the 9th of November. Now, we're not going to deviate at all. We're going to follow the exact rules that we have been following and showing for at least the last month, using a momentum-based system of entry called the accelerator. Now, if we look back, what we're going to do on the pit session for crude oil, that is 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific time. That's 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. And we're going to follow the two-arrow rule, which means that once we have two arrows in the same direction, we're not looking at taking any more new trades until we get an opposite arrow. I'm going to start on Monday. If we look back to Monday here at actually around 5:15 a.m. Pacific time, this is before the pit open, there was a short signal here. Now, some traders have been trading these markets early on, but this was signal number one, so we were clear to take any other short signal after that. Here's our 6 a.m. We had signal number two right here. This was a short trade entry. A lot of traders use a very tight stop right here. And then this is exactly how this is taught. You have to take on this trade what's called the second bite out of the apple. So if your first entry did not get you a scalp, and or if it did get you a scalp and you're trying to get a runner, take the second trade entry. All right, here's your second trade entry here. You were able to come down and at least get a scalp for 6 or 7 ticks, but no runner as it got stopped out. So that was your trade number one. Trade number two was a long trade that got stopped out. Trade number three was a short trade that got stopped out. So this is unusual on a Monday to have basically 3 trades and 2 of the 3 got stopped out. Don't get discouraged when this happens. This happens in trading. This is part of trading because trading is all about patience, discipline, and timing. The stops are relatively small, 5 to 6 to 7 ticks, so not a big deal. We're going to continue to apply the same technique, and that is we got long here, and or you had a second add-on long entry here. This went up for a very nice profit. Again, compared to the relatively small stops, if you had a runner up here, this was at least 24 to 30 ticks up on your runner. Notice we're not taking trade number 3 or trade setup number 4. We're just following the two-arrow rule. And then we had one more last final trade. That was a short trade here, right here short. Very nice decline all the way down. If you continue to hold this as a runner, this particular trade entry generated about 60 ticks overall. Of course, this was beyond our our pit open session. Some of the traders took this add-on as well. That's okay to do that if you'd like because you had good profits here. But again, nice short trade. So getting through the Monday first session, very profitable, a little bit rocky at the beginning, right? Down a little bit at the beginning for traders, but then totally coming back by exercising patience, discipline, and timing. Let's go to the next day. All right, now we're going to go to Tuesday for our pit open. Here's our pit open right here. 6 a.m. Notice if I look back to the left, we've already had 2 entries. Again, if this looks familiar, this is a very nice entry early on for a short, and then another one. But following the 2-arrow rule, we're not going to be looking at taking any more short trades after the pit open, which is right here. So this sequence in here and in here is totally ignored following the 2-arrow rule. The first trade setup that we had was long right here, resulting in a nice scalp, but no runner. Second trade setup here, and again, if you had a tight stop, you got taken out. But again, following the rules that we have, you take the second bite out of the apple right here. Very nice trade to the upside. And this market continued basically to skyrocket to the upside all the way up into here. Notice your bite out of the apple trade occurred right around 43.80. This market moved all the way up to around 44.75. That's roughly 90 ticks on a runner, and this is what really makes your session. You got a 90 tick runner, you've hit your goals. So that's it. It brings us out then to 7 a.m. We're basically ignoring the rest of these trade setups here, 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 and here. Some of them work, some of the traders take them, but again, we need to follow the rules. Again, very profitable pit open session in the first hour. Okay, now we move to Wednesday of the week. Now, normally on Wednesday is crude oil inventory, but because of the holiday this week, that was delayed till the following day. Again, applying our rules, we're looking for the pit open session right here, 6 a.m. If we look back, we did have one entry just prior to that, so we're okay to go on a long trade. This was your long trade entry here. This long trade moved up very nicely, all the way up. This entry was right around 43.75. The market moved all the way up to 44.10. That's give or take 35 ticks on a runner if you had it. So very nice trade right out of the box. We're going to ignore the next setup here, even though it was profitable. That does not fit within our 2-arrow rule. And this one as well, a profitable trade, but does not fit within our 2-arrow rule. Then we had a very nice short trade to the downside. Here, still well within our 1-hour window. And again, if you're able to track this down and follow this down, entry level right around the 43.75 level, going down to 43.05. That's 70 ticks on a runner if you could hold it. Notice there was a subsequent entry here with the second bite out of the apple. Again, though, this is beyond our pit open hour window that we trade, but a lot of traders do take this, especially when you've got a nice runner here. But again, you can see trade session number 3. Actually, you had no pain, no heat on this. These trades were great right out of the box, meeting your goals quickly. Let's take a look at Thursday. All right, here's our Thursday, and again, we did have we did have the crude oil inventory report today at 8 a.m. Pacific. That was 11 Eastern. We're still going to apply the same strategy and same techniques. Here's our pit open right here at 6 a.m. But look what happened. If we look back on this, we actually had a series of short trades. Obviously, some of this information got leaked out. A series of short trades that stem way back. So we're not looking at taking any short trades in the market. This is a special technique that we teach right here off of this band. If you were trading this band, you would have had a great trade. But however, following the rules that we're talking about, we had no short trades in here. We had no short trades over here. Our first trade setup using the method that we teach, the momentum-based accelerator method, was a long right here for a nice scalp, no runner, and then re-entry right here. And this was a super trade to the upside right here. Very nice trade to the upside. A nice big runner here. That was a good 60 to 65 ticks if you held it. And again, there was a sequence of other long entries, but using the 2-arrow rule, we ignore those. Some traders even got another entry here. This was just a couple minutes past the window period, but that's okay. A lot of traders take it. If they did, they also got a very nice trade to the short side. Now, I also want to point this out because this is what we talk about. This type of method of trading, this momentum-based accelerator that's called the accelerator using these indicators, not only works great for your pit open sessions, but works fantastically off of major reports. And as I reiterated here, on Thursday we had the major report in crude oil, the crude oil inventory, that was released at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. And that report is basically untradeable for the first 2 minutes, so you need to wait until 8:02 Pacific to start looking at trades. 8:02 is out here. We look back, we had a series of short arrows, so nothing on the short side. The first trade that we're taking is the long right here. That was around 8:04, a nice long entry here. If you went for the second re-entry, you would have had a trade here. That got stopped out, but again, following the rule that we talked about, the second bite out of the apple, first reversal bar, you're in. So you're able to recover back. We're still within our window period. So then we had a short trade entry here for a nice scalp, but no runner. Again, following the second bite out of the apple, you would have had a short entry here, and this was a super trade. If you missed it for some reason, notice your second arrow here. It's okay to take this trade. This trade went down a tremendous amount between here and all the way down. Again, we're going to ignore the rest of these arrows following the 2-arrow rule. That puts us out 30 minutes past that report. That's the window we would like to look at. So again, highly profitable in the 30-minute window period after report. What this is showing was, again, this technique, this method of trading, not only highly profitable during the first hour after the pit open, but extremely profitable again in the first 30 minutes after the major report. All right, that's the first 4 days. Let's just look at Friday, and then that'll conclude our crude oil for the week. All right, here's Friday. Now we're going to show Friday, and Friday kind of ended up like Monday did. Remember on Monday we struggled a little bit for the first couple trades. Well, here we go on Friday. Here's our pit open at 6 a.m. We need to look back to see what was happening. Following the 2-arrow rule, we had a series of short trades, so we're not looking at taking any short trades. First trade was here long. This trade immediately got stopped out. Using the second bite out of the apple trade though, you got the entry here, at least for a nice scalp, but no runner. Here was trade number 2. This immediately got stopped out. So just like Monday, where we struggled a little bit, we had a trade, made some money, had another trade, got stopped out. We're kind of following the same pattern. No big deal. The stops are very small. And again, reiterating, trading is all about patience, discipline, timing, and perseverance. The perseverance is that second entry I'm talking about. Then watch what happened. We got a nice short trade here, went down for a very nice profit, had a second short trade entry here for a nice scalp. Your runner got stopped out, but again, second bite out of the apple right here. Very nice trade to the downside. That resulted in about another 24 to 30 ticks on a runner, and that brings us out to our 7 a.m. window, and that concluded the trading. So again, we had 5 pit sessions here in crude oil, plus the session trading after the oil inventory report, all of them nicely profitable, all of them following the rules. There's no subjectivity, there's no could have, should have, or would have. And again, these are the very same type of trade entries that we're looking at when I indicated that it's been profitable every day using this technique in the pit open sessions in the markets that are followed here at High Percent Trading for the last 30 consecutive days. Part of the reason you're watching this webinar, as I indicated, for those of you who are on a trial or maybe interested in becoming a member, we're having a special webinar this Wednesday where we're going to make a special first-time money-back guarantee offer to the first 20 individuals who subscribe as a member. You should have the link on that. If you don't have it, you can contact us. but the link was in the letter that was sent out to you. Let's take a look now at Russell. Also, just let me reiterate, the reason we're making this offer as well is we want every trader to be successful in their trading. We believe here at High% Trading using this methodology, as you can see, it's highly consistent day in and day out. You don't have to trade for long periods of time. Trading is not about a marathon. You've heard us say that. You get in, you manage your trades, you get out, you reach your goals, you're done for the day, and you can go enjoy doing something else. Now here's Russell, and the way that we like to trade this setup for the pit open is we like to trade the first 30 minutes of the pit open. We like to generally wait 2 minutes after the pit open. Pit open, of course, is 6:30 Pacific, that's 9:30 Eastern. So if we go back and look here, here's our 6:30 trade. If you want to trade the 6:30 trade, it's right here. You had the short entry here, and you had a second short entry here. This trade went down to make some very, very nice profits. So we're going to ignore arrows 3 and 4, right, following the 2-arrow rule. Short here, no trades here. Continuing on, the market tried to rally a little bit. It could not. We got a long entry here that got stopped out using the second bite out of the apple rule. As we came down here with the reversal bar, you're back in. You got a nice scalp here, not able to get a runner, and just before it got stopped out, we flipped to the short side here, short here, second short trade here with the second bite out of the apple here, nice trade to the downside. And that takes us out almost to our window. We're not done yet. All right, we're going to ignore the next trade setup here. We had a long trade here for a scalp. Second entry here. Depending on where your scalp is, you may not have gotten this. Some traders will go for a 5 or 6 tick scalp. And so this trade got stopped out right here. And then as we come to our last part, very nice short trade here that ran way down again as we made new session lows. And then this puts us out beyond our first 30 minutes. So again, first a session here on Monday in Russell, extremely profitable, some very nice trades, basically only one losing trade. All right, this brings us to Tuesday. Now here's our pit open time right here, 6:30, but notice what happened. If we look back, we had a series of long entry arrows here. So following the 2-arrow rule, there are no entries here, nor here, nor here. A lot of them worked and a lot of traders take them, but we're going to consistently follow the rules here in these trade setups that we have. So the first trade that you're looking at here around 6:40 Pacific was a short for a nice trade. Here is your second trade arrow here, and this looks familiar by now. This was the second bite out of the apple here, going all the way down into a great profit taking area here for about 24 ticks. Then continuing on into our window, we had a long trade here resulting in a nice profit. Second entry here, all the way up. Very nice profit again. This brings us out to 7 a.m., which is our window. This was arrow number 3, right? Some traders will bend this a little bit, give or take a couple of minutes. That's strictly up to them. It doesn't hurt to do that. And as you can see, another short trade here with the second add-on here, and a huge move to the downside. This move to the downside was roughly about 70 ticks on a runner. So extremely profitable day. All of these trade entries very good, applying, again, the same rules, the same trade setups, using the same octopus indicator, the accelerator, to filter, show, trigger, and even manage these trades. Let's go to our next day. Okay, here's Wednesday in the Russell. Here's our pit open here at 6:30. If we look back, we had one short trade arrow ahead of that, so we're clear to take another short if we get it. We had our first entry here for a scalp. This should look familiar by now. The runner got stopped out, but second bite out of the apple. Nice trade to the downside. A nice profit to the downside. We're not looking at taking any more of these with the 2-arrow rule. We're still within our time period. So we had trade number 1 up to the upside here, long, got stopped out. Trade number 2, re-entering again it also got stopped out. So after we had a nice sequence here, we gave some back. And again, you've seen this before. You saw this in crude oil. It's no big deal. You might get 2 little losses in a row. You might even get once in a week 3 losses in a row like this. That's part of trading. Again, if you maintain the patience, discipline, timing, and perseverance, you're going to be successful in your sessions. So what was the next trade entry? Next trade entry was short here. And if you had a tight stop, re-entering here with a big trade to the downside, and that brings us out to our window. All right, so this not quite as clean as the first 2 sessions, but again, applying the same rules, applying proper stop management, applying re-entries. Again, a very nice profitable session. Okay, here's our pit open trades for our session on Thursday. Our pit open here is at 6:30. If we look back, we can see there was a multitude of short entries that the accelerator was triggering, so there's no short entries in here at all following the 2-arrow rule. First trade was long to the upside. It got stopped out. Second trade, long, got stopped out. Now again, some of you may get discouraged when this happens, but that's why we use small stops. And that is the difference between just an average trader and a successful trader. The successful trader knows if they keep patience, discipline, and timing, you're going to get these types of trades sometimes. Nothing is 100%, but you apply the same techniques, the same indicators, the same entries over and over and over again. What is our next trade then? It's short with a nice little scalp profit, and then again we had another short trade here for a scalp, no runner, but again following the second bite out of the apple rule, and this is important. You got short here, and again nice trade to the downside, resulting in about 20 to 24 ticks. There's no short trade here. There is a long trade here that resulted in a scalp. It got stopped out. If you took the second bite out of the apple, it went nowhere. That got stopped out. Still profitable. And then we had our short trade here. Second entry here for a nice profit. No trade here because that is in violation of the 2-arrow rule. Now we're working the long side. Long trade here for a nice scalp. Second long trade here for a scalp. No runner. There's not a third trade here or a fourth trade here because this is in violation of the 2-arrow rule. And then look what happened. Beautiful short trade right here. Well within our window period. This market broke down, made new session lows, resulting in about 40 to 45 ticks of profit, taking us out to our 7 a.m. Pacific window period and done with the session. So again, you had to work a little bit more at this one. There were a couple trades that got stopped out. It wasn't quite as easy as some of the prior sessions, and it isn't always easy. But again, applying the same techniques, the same principles, patience, discipline, timing, profitable again. All right, lastly, here's our Friday session. This is session number 10 here that we're looking at in the video. Here's our pit open right here at 6:30. If we look back, we need to look back to see where we were. We already had one prior arrow, so we're good to go. If we're trading right here at the pit open at 6:30, we had a short entry here for a scalp. We had a second bite out of the apple here. That trade did not work out. So we had a nice scalp here, no runner, and then this trade did not work out. Notice then we had a nice long trade. We pushed to the top into a profit-taking area. This trade resulted in a good profit. Next trade was to the downside short. It got stopped out. Next trade to the upside long. It got stopped out. So again, we've had 2 trades in a row. Pretty much just at break even right now. This session, this Friday session, was probably the rockiest, the hardest of the 5 to trade this week. Again, don't get discouraged when it happens. Sometimes these markets will chop around, but the nice thing about these indicators are they'll handle the chop fairly well from the standpoint you're going to catch the move once it starts, and your losses won't be very significant. This was the second bite out of the apple trade long here. That worked very nice. All right, still moving, still kind of in a sideways market. Short entry here, and depending on where your stop was, you may or may not have gotten stopped out. If you did, this was your bite out of the apple again here for the scalp. And then notice what happened. We got our second entry here. Nice trade to the downside. That trade generating about 20 to 24 ticks in profit. We're ignoring these arrows because this does not follow the 2-arrow rule. We're still working within our window. All right, still working within our window. Long entry here that got stopped out. Short entry here. And again, depending on where your stop was, you need to take that second bite out of the apple here. So again, we're just kind of treading water here a little bit. No third entry here. Long entry here for a scalp. The runner got stopped out, and then a beautiful home run, short entry right here. Entry right around the 1147 level. This market moved all the way down to about 1140.50. Give or take some ticks. That's roughly about 65 to 70 ticks on the runner and this major session, and now we're done. We're past the window. So again, what we've done is we've applied this technique, the accelerator method of trading the momentum in the pit opens for crude oil, pit opens for Russell, all profitable, some a little bit easier than others, but again, just applying the same rules over and over. Thanks for watching. I hope this was beneficial to you, and what the big thing I would like everybody to come away with is two things. Number one, just be disciplined in your trade approaches. Again, use the patience, discipline, and timing approach. Be consistent. And second, have the perseverance and the commitment to follow these trades, to take the trades and manage them in the manner that they're taught. Taking that second bite out of the apple trade, that's extremely important. These markets are very efficient at trying to stop traders out, and you'll notice that if you employ that technique, you're going to be a highly successful trader. Again, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the special invitation for, if you're not a member yet, on Wednesday. I'm going to make a special promotional offer, and I know you're going to like it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Happy trading. Bye now.